Right, it's being 16 minutes past 6. I'll declare the meeting open. So with the acknowledgement to country, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and pay our respects to their elders past and present. Attendances, apologies and leaves of absence. There are none. I might just note that the chairperson is on her way to the meeting. She's being detained by traffic, and as soon as she arrives I will hand over the presiding duties to her, but we will continue until that occurs. Disclosures of interest. I ask if... sorry, I have 3 disclosures of interest by the Chief Executive Officer. Do I need to read those, or are you happy to just say the document will be received? Read them out? Okay. So in respect of, so this is for our CEO. So in respect of item 14.4, the subject is the appointment of Chief Executive Officer, and the nature of the interest is subject matter of the report relates to the appointment of the officer in the role of CEO. 14.10, WA Waste and Recycle Conference. Again, subject matter of the report relates to the officer's continuing professional development. 14.11, Chief Executive Officer attendance at the CPA Congress 2026. The subject matter, the nature of the interest is the subject matter of the report relates to the officer's continuing professional development. That's all recorded in a document which has been duly completed by the CEO, and that is to hand. Does anybody else have a... Councillor, please.
Thank you. Mine's for item 14.4, Chief Executive Officer appointment. The HR consultant mentioned in the report is known to me through my role as a councillor. It's consistent with a previous declaration I've made. Impartial, staying in the room.
Thank you for reminding us of that ongoing disclosure. Announcements by the chairperson or presiding member. I have no announcements, but we may return to this portion should the presiding member, upon her arrival, feel the need to return to that. Item 5, response to previous questions taken on notice. There are nil. Public question time. I look around, I see that there are no members of the public present. Applications for leaves of absence. Do I have any of those? There are none. 8 petitions, deputations and presentations. We have none this evening. 9, confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. We do have a quorum, so I am happy to proceed, given that that's largely procedural. So I look for a mover and a seconder in relation to the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 25th of June. Thank you, Councillor Hamilton, and thank you, Councillor Ostrowski. That is, we'll put that to the vote, and I see that's carried unanimously. Questions by members of which due notice have been given. The CEO advises me that there are no such questions. Questions without notice. So are there any councillors that have questions that are not specific to the employee reports? I see that there are no such questions. Announcement of confidential matters for which the meeting may be closed to the public. So the following confidential reports are covered in section 19, and Mr. CEO, am I able to read the headings of those, or just to simply note that they're listed?
You can just, it's on the agenda.
It's okay, as per the agenda. Business not dealt with from a previous meeting, there is none. That then brings us to the employee reports. Mr. CEO, at this juncture, would it be appropriate for us to temporarily suspend the meeting?
You can call a recess.
Yes, I might call a recess, noting that our chairperson is yet to arrive. So I'll call a recess for the time being. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Hamilton. And thank you, Councillor. Voting on that, and that is unanimous. So we'll have a recess and return as soon as is practical.
Okay, so we'll recommence the meeting at 6:22 p.m. So we're up to item 14, employee reports. Would anyone like to pull any of these reports? Councillor Hamilton?
14.5.
Yep.
And I did notify the CEO that I wish to attend the conference that's listed in 1410. And I did send questions through regarding 14.8, but I'm happy to leave. I'm happy with the response provided to me. I'm happy to leave that inside the...
On block?
Yep.
Okay. Councillor Ostaszewski? Yep. Deputy Chair, anything from you? I'll just confirm with the CEO, are there any that needs to be filled in with any options other than what's already been pulled?
No, so the one, that's the only one that we...
That's the only one that needs to be pulled? Okay. So whenever you're ready, Councillor Ostaszewski?
Thank you. Just 14.9, disposal of hook lift bins, for some questions.
And you don't have any questions about 14.4?
I've already sent those questions through to the CEO and I've been provided responses that I'm satisfied with.
Okay. I'm just going to pull that because I missed the responses. So I probably, just before I... So just confirming you're happy with those responses? Okay. I'm going to pull it because I just got a question on it myself. Okay, so that is all. We'll now move to 14.4, which is appointment of Chief Executive Officer. There's nothing confidential in this one, is it? No. So I just had a question. To the CEO, this is the first time I've seen a report like this. So I just wanted to check if my recollection serves me well. Did we have a report like this after the appointment of the previous CEO?
Yes, we did.
We did?
Yeah.
So I just forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that this is consistent with that process.
Yep, the regulations requires council to confirm. So in order for council to confirm, we need the report item, and that's been prepared by the Chief Transformation Officer.
So this is the same process as
Yes,
the
the same.
previous
Yep.
CEO?
Yes.
Okay.
That was done in November in 2024.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Would anyone like to move? Oh, Councillor Ostaszewski, do you have a question?
Just one more question. Yeah. Thank you. In regards to the guidelines that are provided for CEO recruitment, guidelines aren't, so you get law, policy, regulations. Yep. Guidelines are just guiding documents, aren't they? They don't need to necessarily be followed exactly. Is that correct?
Just specific in terms of just the process, that is actually a council policy, not necessarily just a guideline. There is a guideline from the department as well, but we do have a council policy as well.
So in terms of the guidelines that the department provides,
yes.
Do they have to be strictly followed?
Oh, it's definitely advantageous too. Would highly be recommended too. Definitely.
So highly recommended, but not necessarily required?
No, it's not legislated.
Okay, thank you.
Would anyone like to move this item? Councillor Ostaszewski moving. Do I have a seconder? Deputy Chair, Councillor Ostaszewski, anything? Deputy Chair, anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, I'll put it straight to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous. The next one is 14.5. Councillor Hamilton.
I was just wondering, the report states that this is being reintroduced as a sponsorship program. And I do understand that the proposed budget allocation is not huge, it's only $10,000. However, I was just wondering why the timing of reintroducing this now? I was just curious about first of all, how long has it been suspended?
When do you have that?
So it's about 2 or 3 years from my recollection, and it got suspended when we cancelled the economic development program that we used to run, and we used to have a business exemplar part of that, and we used to put money into supporting exemplar businesses in the region, and when the budget got cut for economic development, so did that.
And I'll add something to that. I think the timing may be around a request from the City of Bayswater. The City of Bayswater reached out to the EMRC to ask if they would be a sponsor at the Bayswater Business Awards. So perhaps that's what led to this coming to council for consideration.
Yeah, it's definitely the trigger, but it's also an option for us as an organisation when we reviewed it at the ELT to consider that it's an opportunity for us to promote the EMRC rather than sitting behind all the member councils only.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have another question?
I don't really have a question.
Okay. Deputy Chair.
I suppose just to the CEO's point, the City of Bayswater or the Town of Bassendean would both be aware of the EMRC, so awarding this sort of money to either of them would probably not create further awareness. And in terms of the, I suppose, where the EMRC is currently at, is it such that the EMRC needs to cultivate relationships of that nature?
Through the chair, it's not specifically to the two member councils, but the wider audience that those awards and sponsorships do attract. People who vie for those awards will then recognize the EMRC. Given the fact that we're repivoting ourselves away just from member council household waste, I think it's an opportunity because every business would have its waste as well.
I suppose then, if that is the case, would this item be able to be deferred for a period of time?
That's a council decision, not a chief executive officer decision. And I'd just like to clarify that the City of Bayswater sponsorship amount is much less than what is being considered in here, just in case that's an issue for councillors. Deputy Chair.
Yeah, I mean, the question was in terms of, so if it were deferred, would that be of consequence? When is this award ceremony? When does this money need to be applied?
So the City of Bayswater awards request would need to be before the actual awards in October. But I imagine this is for the rest of the financial year for the actual amount, the rest of the consideration. So there's no time frame as such for the spending of it.
No, but I suppose in relation to the Bayswater event, then the September OCM of the EMRC would not be too late for that to occur.
It would be because the event is being held on the 10th of October and there's already, with sponsorship, you're being promoted, so all the sponsors are being promoted in terms of all the advertising for it, which is going out to a wide, group. I'm just going to finish with the Deputy Chair. So in terms of being able to contribute the EMRC to that event, September would be too late for that particular event. It wouldn't be too late for anything in the future. Councillor Hamilton.
So can I ask, would this be able to be expanded to sponsorship of environmental groups undertaking work in our town, in our riverfront areas and what have you? I'm curious because that is an area of interest for our particular town, and we have a lot of groups that could benefit from sponsorship. So I'm wondering if this could also incorporate sponsorship of environmental groups that are promoting work along our riverfront.
It's definitely a consideration for council to decide. We just have to ensure that the policy is adjusted accordingly to reflect that. But yes, it will be a decision for council.
Okay, so if we are supportive of this tonight, would the administration take on board that and make those amendments as such?
It would depend on the council's resolution,
Okay.
because they would have to enact the council resolution.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Councillor Zowski?
Thank you. To allow some time, in regards to I wasn't going to ask, but to allow some time in regards to the matrix, the proposed assessment matrix provides 7 criteria, each from 0 to 5, giving a maximum possible of 35. The proposed wording then states that proposals achieving 20 points or greater would be considered as highly regarded. Now, if we're going through and assessing each of these criteria, and let's say an applicant only received 3 at each point for each criteria, they're only going to be at the medium level. So can someone please explain how we could justify an applicant who only scored medium level in each of these matrix requirements here can be considered as a highly regarded application?
I'll go to the CEO.
Sorry, I'll defer that to the Chief Transformation Officer. She administered this program before. I think she's probably the best person.
So when we ran this program before with the Business Exemplar Awards, we were considering that the midway point, if people achieved a 50% scoring rate or above, that would be acceptable. So hence why we said now in this instance, 20 is just above the midway point. So that's how we got to that arrangement.
And so now anything that's midway is classified as highly regarded.
Yes. So perhaps maybe the terminology could be altered. Instead of highly regarded, we could probably change that explanation if that helped.
Another question. If an application receives fewer than 20 points, and they would be now recommended would they now be recommended for funding?
So in the past, what we did was when somebody achieved a low amount, we would go back and work, when we had our economic development program running, we would go back and work with that business to see how we could get them up for the next year so that they could achieve a rate that was acceptable to be considered. So it was an ongoing process.
So does this now remove minimum qualifying score effectively?
Well, it could, I guess, yeah.
So basically anyone who applies now could get a grant or sponsorship?
Well, we're saying the proposal to achieve 20 points or greater will be highly regarded. So then we would consider that on its merits. So if it achieved under the 20 points, then we would go back and explain to them where they didn't meet the criteria. So, what was there was no benefit to the strategic objectives of the EMRC, for example, and then we could work with them to get that improved for next year. So instead of getting a score of 1 or 2, they might get a score of 3, 4 or 5.
I don't need to ask any more questions. Thanks, Councillor.
Any other questions on this?
I'm just going to ask for some assistance perhaps from the CEO as to how I might amend the recommendation to potentially incorporate support for environmental outcomes that are beneficial. And I understand this is it's occasional grants sponsorship. And I do understand the desire for sponsorship that will promote the MRC, but also I'm looking at this as occasional grants, and I'm just asking if the CEO could provide any assistance to me in how we can amend the wording to incorporate potential grants for environmental outcomes that are beneficial to our areas with an S on the end.
Go to the CTO.
Thank you. Look, I'm wondering whether in LIM 4, where we talk about to approve the granting of sponsorship of events and business awards, whether we could do the improvement of sponsorship of events, environmental activities and business awards.
And then would you just say in LIM 2 that adopts the revised policy? Would the policy have to be amended then? Because there's a policy attached to this.
Yes, I'll just go to the policy quickly.
Or could we say, and the policy to be amended to include environmental groups, something
Yes, we could.
to that wording?
I'd be very happy if we could do that amendment.
And you want environmental, not community?
Environmental stroke community, whatever works, because most of our environmental groups are community groups. We have mainly community groups doing environmental work. We don't have much else.
Sorry, if I may, through the chair, if I can direct you to our policy statement then, potentially there is the opportunity on the policy statement number 1 to include those as after the grants and sponsorships / comma, then environmental and community activities as the additional words in the policy itself. Then we don't need to bring it back.
So policy statement number 1.
Yep.
Okay.
So it does say environmental. It says fostering positive economic, environmental or sustainability objectives.
It does too. Sorry, I just wanted it just because it was not in the recommendation, and you are perfectly correct. So can I just clarify with the CEO? Sorry.
Can I just clarify with the CEO that point 1 of the policy statement would enable applications from environmental or community groups for sponsorship?
Yeah. For clarity, potentially you may wish to add the community one as well. Because, so maybe if we could, so positive economic, environmental, comma, community, or sustainability. So just the word, comma, of community.
Because it's already got environment and sustainability in there.
Okay. I'm happy to take advice on this, but you obviously clearly get the gist of what I'm after.
So just to clarify, an event could be a tree planting day or a remediation or something. It could be an event that's being held by a community group that could apply for a sponsorship or a grant.
Absolutely.
And just to be clear, our council requires any grants or sponsorships to be acknowledged in all communications by those groups. So if there was something from the MRC, from the town, etc., those things have to be acknowledged in all communications.
I'll go to the CTO.
It could also include things like riverbank cleanups, etc. So, all of that sort of stuff, which is, highly regarded in environmental activities.
Okay. I'm happy if the CEO's okay with putting that through the amendment. What I wanted to know is the recommendation as it stands, if we make that amendment in LIM 1 of the policy, do you need to make a change in the actual recommendation? Because the chairperson has indicated that we probably need to put something in point 2 about the revised policy.
In terms of the minuting, what we will do is the instructions under our discussion that council request for the comma community into the policy statement 1. And then in terms of the officer recommendation, we'll make an amendment so that council in LIM number 2 adopts the revised council policy 3.4 as amended, forming attachment 2 to this report. And then in the minutes, we'll fix up in the attachment 1 and 2.
Thank
Can
you.
we put forming attachment to this report as amended?
As amended as well?
As amended be
After? Yep.
after, so that the actual attachment 2 is amended.
Okay.
Definitely.
So would you like to move that with
Yes,
those
please.
changes?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do I have a seconder? Oh, Sazowski. Councillor Hamilton, anything?
No, it's fine.
Councillor Sazowski, anything? Anyone wish to speak to this?
Look, I'll make it brief. Look, I can see what is attempting to be done here. It's just a matter of timing, and I'll be voting against this just because I don't think it's the appropriate time to be doing this sort of thing.
Okay, I will put this to the vote. All those in favour? That is Councillor Hamilton, Councillor Ossowski and myself. All those against? It's the Deputy Chair. That is carried. The next item is 14.9, disposal of hook lift bins. And Councillor Ossowski, did you pull this one?
Yes. Question. There's going to be a delegation for this one for the CEO to finalise the purchase of the hook lift bins, but the delegation, the actual wording wasn't contained in the report. I'm asking a question around submissions received. So obviously when we go out to sell these things, we have to do a public notice. And generally if any submissions are received, then that would come back to council for a decision. Is the delegation worded, or will the delegation be worded in such a way that gives the CEO complete authority to finish it out? I'm just missing the wording of the delegation, so I don't know if it's coming back to council or are we giving you full control to take care of this? Because usually we wouldn't do that.
Through the chair, yes. Firstly, you have done that back in November. We did have a disposal as well, and that has occurred before. It's administrative. It's just to improve the fact that it is just for the sale of small assets rather than for it to come back to council. The last time that you gave me delegation, there was no submissions. So there was only the offer on the table. In this situation, it will probably be administrative. Again, it's just to expedite the process rather than. We do have a current arrangement, is currently in use, it's still a lease arrangement. The offer on the table is a reasonable offer, and I felt that in this case it's similar. We will go through a delegation under the delegation from the limit number 4, and provide that.
So if there is a submission,
What happens? So in the case of the submission, our outcome is the best price. So if someone offers a better price, then we will have to consider that better price.
and who considers that?
That will be the CEO.
CEO. Okay, thank you.
Councillor Hamilton, you've got your mic on. Councillor Ossowski, did you want to move this motion?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, move Councillor Ossowski, seconded Deputy Chair, Councillor Ossowski, Deputy Chair.
Yeah, no comment on that one.
Anyone wish to speak on this? If not, I'll put it straight to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Item 14.10 is the WA Waste and Recycle Conference. So, councillors, would anyone, Councillor Hamilton has already indicated her intention to attend. Would anybody else like to attend this? No, you're going on your own. Okay, so Lim 2 will now say Councillor Hamilton and the CEO be authorised to attend the conference. Do I have a mover and seconder? Moved Councillor Ossowski, seconded
Yeah.
Deputy Chair. Councillor, anything? Deputy Chair?
It's useful to be apprised of any developments and opportunities.
Great. I'll put this straight to the vote. All those in favour? Oh, sorry?
We didn't get voters upon block to move the other
You
items.
need to move all the other items on block.
No, we're still on 14.10.
That's fine. Usually you do the all first.
But she only withdrew 2 items.
No, we withdrew 4. 4. So what I'll do is, I understand what you're saying. I don't do that in my other role. So I'm just used to doing, and then we will adopt the rest. Okay, that's all right. So we'll just do these and get them adopted, and then we'll consider the rest on block. So I will now put that back to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Okay, so now we will adopt the remaining items in section 14 on block. Can I have a mover and seconder? Moved Councillor Hamilton, seconded Councillor Sazowski. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Yep, you got that. Okay, so we now move to item 15, which is reports of committees. And we have 3 items under this section. Would anyone like to remove any of these items to discuss? If not, we'll move them on block. Can I have a mover? Deputy Chair? Anyone to second? Councillor Sazowski? I will put that to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous for all of those 3 reports. Item 16 is reports of delegates. There are the minutes are as presented in the agenda. So that was for the MWAC, is it MWAC? Yep. The last one. And then item 17 is members' motions of which previous notice has been given. There is nil. Item 18, new business of an urgent nature. There is nil. Item 19, confidential matters for which the meeting may be closed to the public. May I have a mover and seconder for the recommendation that the meeting be closed to members of the public in accordance with section 5.232C of the Local Government Act 1995 for the purpose of dealing with matters of a confidential nature. Move Councillor Hamilton, seconded Councillor Sazowski. All those in favour? That is unanimous. So I declare that the meeting be reopened at 8:39 p.m. and members of the public be invited to return to the meeting. And the live streaming will now continue. So reading the resolutions passed behind closed doors in relation to 19.1 Hazelmere Wood Waste to Energy Project Update. The resolution is that the item be deferred until the next meeting. Item 19.2 Kalamunda Equity Entitlement. The resolution is that the resolution, the report and its attachments remain confidential and be certified by the chairperson and chief executive officer. And then item 19.3, organisational structure. The resolution is that the item be deferred until the next meeting. Number 20, future meetings of the council. The next meeting of council will be held on Thursday, the 24th of September. And I will now declare the meeting closed at 8:40 p.m. Thank you, everyone.